Today, let's get started with the continuous integration server Jenkins. Like, what is Jenkins? What is meant by continuous integration and all? Let us look into it. I think you all can see the screen. I'm sharing a black screen. Right. So what is continuous integration? Let us assume like a team of people are writing the code and they push the code to GitHub. Right? A team of developers write the code and they push the code to GitHub. Now you know that this is technically called a commit. So they push the code to GitHub. Whenever they made code changes or commits to GitHub, we need a system which can identify those changes and pull those changes immediately and implement the continuous builds. So whenever developer make a comment, that's called continuous development. So they are pulling or adding triggering the builds, which is called continuous builds. And once continuous builds are triggered, if it is successful, then it should proceed for the next stage. What if it fails? What is meant by, first of all, what is continuous builds? What is building the code? What is meant by building the code? Anyone? What is building the code? Building the code is nothing but converting the source code into executable code, right? Or else, for example, if you take .java, every .java file will be converted into dot class file and executable, right? So this is how the build happens. Once the class files are generated, all of them will be converted into a single deployable file, right? Like var file or a jar file, whatever be the format. This is for example for Java. So which would be going for deployment. This is called packaging actually. And to segregate this, this is called compiling. Both this compiling and packaging put together is called building. Compiling and packaging put together is called building. So whenever developer write the code, build happens. And once the build is successful, it will go to the next phase of testing. What if builds are not successful? What if build fail? Build fail means that should be sent to developers. They'll fix it. Like it could be syntax errors or bugs and all. So developers will fix it and then they will again push the code, again make a commit. Right? That's how the code changes navigate. Continuous development, continuous builds. And once the builds are successful, let's say this is successful. Right? Then it go for the next stage of continuous testing. Continuous testing is where the test cases are executed. These test cases could be written using some automation tool like a Jenkins, JUnit or whatever. And once those test cases are successful, let's say if it is successful, it will go for the next phase of deployment. If it fails, who will fix the bugs? Means test case failed means they identified some bugs, right? They'll be again sent to developers and this process keep on continuing, right? So this is called continuous builds, continuous development, continuous building, continuous testing. Any change made by developers. See here, these are all commits made by developers. Any changes made by developers will go through the entire process. Right? This process is nothing but continuous integration. So what is continuous integration? Continuous development, continuous builds, continuous testing is nothing but continuous integration, right? So this is what continuous integration, and there are different continuous integration tools like you have Jenkins, Bamboo, TeamCity, Code Deploy, GitHub Actions, so on. So many are there, but Jenkins is very widely used than any other tool because of its features. So in Jenkins, you'll have something like tasks in Jenkins or jobs in Jenkins, right? Where you will create some task, like where you will create some task. Task is nothing but, or job is nothing but where you, let's say you want to pull the code and build it. So you will create a build task, right? Or else if you want to do a testing, you will create a test job or a task, right? So again, developers are involved here. They are writing the code. Testers are involved here. They'll write the test case or test scripts so that you will automate their execution. In the pipeline, we are automating the execution. DevOps engineer will not write the code, or DevOps engineer will not write the test cases. He will engage to involve these tools. Means also Jenkins is not building. Jenkins is not testing. You will create a job such a way that you will use some build automation tool at the backend to perform this task. Some test automation tool, right? Testers are writing some Selenium test cases to do this, and so on, right? So this is what is called continuous integration. There is a Jenkins server which can help do this. Now, as a DevOps engineer, we'll set up Jenkins and we'll create these jobs like build a job, test job, and so on, and execute the pipeline. So here, whenever developer make a commit, we need a system which can trigger the entire pipeline of building, testing, and so on, which is done by Jenkins. Got it, everyone? Is this much clear for all of you?
Yes.
Ma'am, once again, can you brief once in quick way?
Continuous development, whenever developer write the code and place it on GitHub, it will be pulled, built, tested, and this pipeline entire thing will be automated. You'll create different jobs in Jenkins, like creating different jobs of test job, build a job, and so on by using the right tools. You'll be creating Jenkins jobs which will perform these tasks. If you can tell me which part to repeat, I can. You want me to repeat the whole thing or what you want to repeat?
Yes, ma'am. In brief, can tell like what CD, all the things, ma'am.
Any questions from anyone?
Continuous test.
Go on, Sneha.
Continuous test means, is it like a unit? Are we checking the logic of code, or is it a functional testing, ma'am? Here,
Okay.
this is.
So developers will write the test cases, right? They'll write the automation test cases. They might be using any automation tools like Selenium, UFT, whatever, and they'll write the test cases. This continuous testing stage will execute those test cases.
Okay.
Means again, those test cases could be anything. They might be unit testing, functional test. Of course, everything will be there. Like in each pipeline, let's say it's first dev pipeline, initial stages, it might be unit testing. Later on, functional test cases, regression test cases, and all will be involved in the pipeline. So those test case execution is automated in the pipe. It could be anything. They could use any type, any test tool. It could be any level of testing.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Right. Any more queries? So this is what is continuous integration does. And now let's go and set up our Jenkins server. Before that, let me just give you a walkthrough through this Jenkins server. Another thing is this is called continuous integration, right? You can also understand the difference between continuous integration and the traditional integration we have. So continuous integration is the process of automating the build and test process each time a commit is done to the version control system. Right? Like whenever there is a commit, it will trigger the entire pipeline. That's what we need. And see here the difference between traditional integration and continuous integration. If you have ever worked in traditional integration, you would very easily appreciate the continuous integration process. In traditional integration, there used to be a separate team who will integrate the things manually, right? Like who will, sorry, who will make any, there'll be a separate integration team who would sit and manually integrate the changes, right? And it would take some, they need to spend some overnights, they need to have a some lot of effort. A separate team is involved, development lead will be engaged, and it might be taking some days to do this manual integration because it is happening only once in 6 months. All the code developed in 6 months should be integrated. Any bugs will be identified, that should be sent, fixed, and all of this happens. Also, integration might be working in some servers, but it might not be working in other servers, right? Like it might be working on integration servers, it may not work on other servers. So these are all the challenges. Also, if you see, time gap is huge, means integration is happening only once in a while or once in a 6 months. Whereas in the continuous integration process, you can see here, there are multiple integration events. Integration may happen multiple times a day, right? So this is the continuous integration. Any questions from anyone here? No, Preethi. So this is the difference, and that's the reason continuous integration is preferred in the modern projects. And you can see integrations events are less and gap between them is large. Even this presentation is available in the lab notes. Integration happens once in a while, right? Errors due to manual integration are eliminated. Time and effort consuming process, which is overcome by benefits of, or which are the benefits of continuous integration, like improves the quality of the product, increases productivity, reduces risk of human errors, right? It eliminates any risk of human errors. So people can focus on productivity and quality rather than focusing on the manual errors. That's the advantage of continuous, benefits of continuous integration. And these are all the different tools, but you can see the graph from the Google Trends. Jenkins is the clear winner in the category. Many tools are there, even GitHub Action, but Jenkins is very widely used. And if you know Jenkins, you can work with other tools easily. The main point here is Jenkins, if you see, right, it's very widely used. It supports different integrations. It has got a huge plugins. So that's why it is so widely used. See here, it's an open source tool. It is a Java application. It's another application, right? It is developed in Java. It doesn't mean that it's used to build only Java applications. Okay, make the difference clear. It is developed in Java. It has got a good plugin support. There are a lot of plugins. Plugins are like add-ons, which will enhance and extend the functionality of Jenkins. It has got a good community support. It works on multiple operating systems. It is easy to set up and upgrade, right? It's easy to set up Jenkins and upgrade the Jenkins. It works on multiple operating systems. It has got distributed team management, right? Like if there is a team of 5 people, Jenkins can be used to manage them, meaning the access privileges, all of them can be managed better, like who to access what can be handled by Jenkins through distributed team management. We will look into all of this with hands-on, right? Yeah, from here on, hands-on begins. Let's get started. Any questions, let me know. I'm going to set up Jenkins first. First, log into AWS and set up the Jenkins first. Give me a second to get the credentials. Hope you are all set with your AWS account. Sorry, I'm talking on mute. So just go ahead and create an AWS account. And once account is created, yesterday you have created one EC2 instance, right? You can also use it, right? Otherwise, create a new account. Go to launch instance, demo, create a T3 micro, select the key pair. Yesterday we created as key pair, or else I'm using this key pair called AWS, and launch the instance. So this is the one. Now let us connect to the EC2 instance. This is where I have my key pair. So go to that place and run this command, confirm. So yes, I'm switching to root user sudo su hyphen to install Jenkins, right? I have logged into my account. You should be using a T2 micro instance which is under free tier eligible. For me, it's not visible. You should be seeing it. Now let us set up Jenkins. Firstly, Jenkins is a Java-based application, means Java should be installed here. You don't have to learn Java or use Java, but Java should be installed because that's a prerequisite for this. Okay, before that, there were some things you need to do to increase the temporary file system. So just run this command. Create a file called tmp mount.d, increasing the TMP file system. Just run these commands. These were all available in the lab notes. Daemon reload and restart the TMP mount. Now install Java. You can install the Java 17 version. This one. Even this version, commands are available in the assignments page. In the lab notes, everything is available. So install this Java. Operation aborted for dependencies resolved. Okay, the size was huge, looks like. 1 second. Okay, I just used Java without any version, simply uninstall Java, worked. This package might not be available here. So just do install Java. Done. Java version should be available now. Yes, it has got installed JDK 25. That should be fine. Now let us install Jenkins. To install Jenkins, you can go here and type in Jenkins download. These links may vary, but this is the process you can do. Go to Google and give Jenkins download. You should see in this Jenkins page. So here you can see, like I told you, Jenkins works on multiple operating systems, right? Like again on Linux, different distributions, Fedora, OpenSUSE, FreeBSD, and so on. If it is Windows, use this. If it is Windows, Ubuntu, Red Hat, and so on, or else Mac, you have it. So click the Linux distribution. Mine is this Red Hat based distribution. So run these commands. You can copy and run these commands. So first download the Jenkins repository and import the key. Install Jenkins. This is the repository file and the key to download Jenkins and then install Jenkins should do. So Jenkins is installed. Now you can start Jenkins. Systemctl start Jenkins. So now Jenkins. So Jenkins default port is 8080, so we can try on this. But before that, do you remember what you should do? You should add this port in the security rules, right? Go to security. Here you will see inbound rules. Edit the inbound rules, add the rule, right? Custom TCP 8080, and I'm adding source from anywhere so that you should be able to access Jenkins on this port. So yeah, do you see that now we have got Jenkins available? This is for the first time you will see it as locked. Jenkins is locked for the first time. You have to unlock it. How do you unlock it? Here is the unlock password. Here is the unlock password. So what you should do, go to Jenkins. It is telling you the unlock password is available. So you can get the password. See, that's the password. And by the way, whenever you install Jenkins, all the Jenkins objects are present in this path var lib Jenkins. Var lib Jenkins is called the home directory in Jenkins. If you go there and do ls, see, these are all the things you have. Anyway, first let's get the admin password. This is present in the secrets folder. See here, secrets initial admin password. That's what we were using. Put the admin password. Let me copy it again. Right. So this is also again only one-time task. For the first time of launching Jenkins, you will see customize Jenkins. Like I told you, plugins will extend or enhance the functionality of Jenkins, right? So you should install these plugins. You can go with the suggested plugins, right? There are hundreds of plugins available. So I went with suggested plugins. All these plugins will be installed, right? Like add-ons. This is only one time task. After login later on, if you want to install any plugin also, you can do. But yeah, we'll get started with default plugins. All those plugins will be installed in this folder. You can see here the number of your plugins, piping that to word count. Right? It means it's installing in this folder. You can see the number increased also. You can see the number of plugins. Is that making sense? Are you all with me following? Okay, so let it get installed. You can see your plugins like and Git, all of these are getting installed. Do you see that? Right, username is admin and the password. So creating the first admin user, right? And then save and continue. Like you can give any name, I just give in the name as admin. So your Jenkins is ready. Got it clear? Any questions? All the commands I have used till now were available in the assignments, in the lab notes, everywhere they were available. Okay, these are the commands we have used. Now let's get started with the Jenkins. Okay, so this is your welcome page or the dashboard of Jenkins. From here, you can create the jobs and all. Till now, like we just discussed, right? Jenkins will have something like a jobs where you can create those jobs, right? For testing purpose and all. So let us do that. Yeah, let me create some sample job. Here you see new item, right? Or else create job, everything, anything is fine. These are called as a job or a new item. These are used interchangeably. So let me go to new item, create some job as job one, create a freestyle project. Okay. So you will see something like this. There were different sections in the job, source code management, triggers, and so on. Just go to build step for now. We'll use other sections as well. For now, just go to build step, execute shell. I'm just printing some echo command, echo my first Jenkins job. Right? I just wrote some Linux command. That's all. Okay. Just give me a minute. Mm. Okay. So just save the job. Now, okay, job is created. Click on build now. This build now means run the job. So it will execute and you can see here the output, build number one. The output is it just printed this message. If you want to run this multiple times, you can click build now. So you should see the build number two, right? You can see here my first job. Understood? You can create any jobs like I'm creating job two, freestyle project, build steps, execute shell. I'm just creating one more job, okay? Go high. And this time I would like to create a print some date. Date is a Linux command. It will print the current date of the server. I would like to put this into a folder called date.txt. Right? It will show the date. Save this. Build now. Right here, okay. Where do you see the file? Here I have created two sample jobs, right? Here you have to understand one thing. First thing is, okay, where is this job executed? On which machine has this job been executed? Do you understand like where is this job running or executing? Can I get responses?
Linux, Jenkins.
On the
And then
Jenkins
log into
server, right? On the Jenkins server, this EC2 instance. On this EC2 instance, this job is executing. I'm accessing from my Windows browser means it doesn't mean job is executing on my Windows machine, right? You should understand job is executing on the server where Jenkins is installed, right? That's the first thing. Second thing is, in which path or which tool is executing this job?
Java.
This is a shell script. How is this shell script commands executed? How is this script executed? Using a shell program on the server. Like I told you, Jenkins will not execute the job. It will just help you start the job. See here. Started by user admin. Job is executed by the respective tools. It is a shell script now, so shell program. Like how it would work if I write some echo commands in my Linux machine. What if I run some commands here? The same way it would work. It's a shell program which is executing it. Right? Jenkins is just like an orchestrator which will trigger the right jobs at right time, but it will not run anything. It will not do anything. Understood everything? Everyone, is that clear? So here is, and also we have created the txt file. Let's go there. Let's see here. Date.txt file created. Do you see that? System time, that's a UTC, that the ETC, EC2 instance timing, right? If you rerun it, means that gives you clarification where is this job executing. The job is getting executed on the same Jenkins server, right? Build 2. So if you come and see now this file, it's updated with the second next date, right? So it's executing on the same server where Jenkins is running, and it's executed by the respective tools or the programs. Jenkins will just help you start the job. Got the concept clear, everyone? Everyone should understand where is this job executed and how it is it executed. Okay. So I just created sample jobs. Tomorrow we'll be creating some build job, test job, and you may connect those jobs in such a way that once job 1 is triggered, it will trigger job 2 and so on. Right? So that's how you can create these jobs. Any questions from anyone?
Ma'am, when we run the job, right, ma'am, you have given just a date command, but it is going in slash temp. Will it go in or it's the default one in slash temp?
Here I
Oh,
have given
okay,
this.
okay, I got it.
Generally, any job execution will happen in the like in in this home directory. Go to Jenkins home directory workspace. Sorry, Jenkins. This is the Jenkins home directory. In this, there is a folder called workspace. Every job, whenever you run it, it will create a folder by the same name of the job automatically. This will happen. And outputs would be present here. Outputs mean any execution is there, you would see here. Here there is no output. We just routed that file to the whatever folder we need. Okay, workspace is where actual execution of the job happens. And the output can be redirected. What if I'll just come here. I'm removing tmp. I'll just put date.txt. Now execute it. It says it has printed. Let's see. Do you see? Got it now. If you don't give any path, here will be the execution, the output in the workspace. That's a default. It will consider every job will consider to execute in its own path, in its own directory, means the workspace directory. Any questions? Hope you all understood now what is a workspace. So before we go and create the real jobs like build job, test job, let us understand user management a little bit. So to go do that, you can go to here, manage Jenkins. Manage Jenkins. See, Jenkins is very simple. Majority of the things we do from the UI, you need to understand the concepts. So go to manage Jenkins. Here you can go to security. Secure Jenkins define who is allowed to do what. Okay, so you can see the security realm. It's a user database is what we are using. That's a default one where we can create Jenkins using the local Jenkins user database. Authorization. Logged in users can do anything means anyone can do anything. And you should be using the matrix-based security or project-based. There are different authorization strategies. Let's go one by one. I'm going with matrix-based. We have created one user, right? Like admin user. Name is admin. So let me add to the matrix. And let's say I want to make him admin, give all permissions, select it. And I want to create more users. So just come out of this page. If you want to create more users like you created admin user, you can go to users. Create, delete, modify users that can log into Jenkins. Admin user is already there. Create more users like user one. Password is also user one. Confirm this.
Admin is a default user. After installation, we are not created.
Create that user in the beginning. Whenever we install plugins, we created that user as well. Now I am creating other user. Let me create one more. Right, I have created these users so that we can play around with them. Go to manage Jenkins again. Now go to security. So you can add those users here, like user one. So you've got to see the user one, right? Give overall read permissions. Overall read, if you give, they can at least see the Jenkins dashboard. Okay, that's a basic minimum permissions everyone should have. Now, overall read I have given. See, these are all the different permissions. You don't have to learn by heart or memorize. If you keep the cursor, it will tell you. This is about configuring the job. This is about creating the job. This is about deleting. Agents means slaves, which we will learn later. Credentials, agents, you will understand them later. But yeah, keeping help text means keeping cursor here. The help text will help you understand them. So in the job, I want to give build, cancel, configure, create, all of this, right? Move, read, and so on. So I'm just giving all these permissions to user 2. Let's say assume user 2 is a senior. I want to give all permissions. But user 1 is a junior person. I just want to give read permissions on every job. Understood this matrix, everyone? Any questions? In this matrix. Like this, you can add your users and assign the permissions to them. And you can see here as of now, it's a own user database. You may integrate it with LDAP, or else you may integrate with the Active Directories, or else Unix or Linux server groups. Then you can add the user group also. See here, group. You can also do that and assign the permissions to the group rather than assigning individual permissions. So that's how it's a matrix-based authorization strategy. If this strategy is clear, I'll proceed. Can I get a quick confirmations from you guys?
Ma'am, for AD, what option you are using, LDAP or none?
You have to install plugin so that you will see those options.
Okay.
Saving this. Now let's go to Jenkins. Let us log out as admin and log in as other user like user one. User one. So here you can see user one can see all the jobs because it's a job one permission given. See, he can only see, he don't see run the job or configurations or anything delete kind of. He was not seeing any of those, right? And similarly, job 2, if they go here, right? So here also, they are not seeing those options. Understood this much? So he has got only read permissions. Now give user to, right? See user to, he can see this. Also, he can go here. See, he can see the workspace. You don't have to go to CLI. You can see here also. Build, configure, rename, everything he has got on job one. If you go to job two also he has got, and I have given create permission also, so he's seeing new item as well. Is this much clear, everyone? Understood? Hmm. So matrix-based authorization strategy is something like you have different jobs and different users, like user one, user two. Okay, same user, like user one is having all read permissions across any job. User two is having all permissions across any job. This is called matrix based, right? What if I need something like this? There is another strategy, like I want to assign the permissions depending on their expertise. Like user one, I want to give read permissions here, all permissions on this. User to all permissions here, read permissions here. Isn't it? Maybe user one is coming from like they need build knowledge, they have the build knowledge, and I want to give him this build job, all permissions, right? So this is one strategy, like depending on the experience, you may assign the jobs, or else depending on their expertise, you may want to assign the jobs. It depends on the project design and how they want to assign the jobs, right? If you want this kind of strategy, here if you notice one particular user is having same permissions across all jobs. But if you want to give different permissions across different jobs, that's where comes project-based authorization strategy, right? So let us go and say this project-based authorization strategy. Good to go? All right, so let us go to this project-based. First, let's log out from user to go to admin user. Admin user has got all those permissions. So admin, go to admin. Go to manage Jenkins. Security again. Matrix based. Now I'm choosing project based. Right? So now again here we need to add our users. User 2. So admin user, all permissions, and user 1, user 2, all permissions, right? And for the job also. Right? So this is the job two. So now this is what we did for earlier jobs, but now here just give the minimum basic permissions for every user, basic read for everyone. Then how do you give permissions, rest of those? Let's save it. Now go to each job, job one. Configure means edit the job. So if you just scroll down here on the general first one itself, you will see enable project-based security. So you can add the users here. User one, user two, add all the users for every job. Admin, I'm giving all. Let's say user 1 should have all permissions on job 1. I'm just giving all permissions here. User 2 only read. That's all. This is how you restrict the permissions of each users on the job. This is what is distributed team management. Okay, let's go to job 2. Configure. General. Add the users like admin user, user 1, user 2. Okay, so this is admin user, user 1. Okay, let me do the reverse. Let's say user 2 have all permissions on job 2, right? And user 1 will have only read permissions. Is this matrix clear? So that user 1 will have all permissions on job 1 and user 2 will have all permissions on job 2. Sorry, user 1 will have all permissions on job 1, user 2 on job 2. Correct. Bit confused, right? Is this clear now? So let me save this first. Now let's log out as admin, log in as user 1 and see the permissions he would have. Okay, he was seeing all because I have given read for all. When he goes to job 1, he can do workspace, build, configure, delete everything. Job 2, see he can only view the output, only read permissions. Got the difference? Same user is having different permissions across different jobs. Is this much clear? So let's check user 2. If we go to user 2 and yeah, go to job 2, see he has all permissions. But if he goes to job 1, he wouldn't have any permissions. Clear, everyone? Understood this?
Job one was metric sign. Job two is project based example, right?
Job 1 is?
Metric based permission and job two is project based permission examples.
Now we are using project based only.
Okay.
Authorization strategies are not dependent on user. Each user will not have different authorization strategy. First, you will select which authorization strategy you would have. Like here, I have selected project based now.
Mm-hmm.
In project based, each user will have different set of permissions. Is this clear for everyone or still anyone have the confusions or questions? This is what we are using now, project based. Earlier I have shown matrix based, where same user will have, one user will have all same permissions across any job. But here, same user will have different permissions across different jobs. Any questions? So this is about the matrix based and project based. I'm already as admin only. Okay. So there is also another type of job, which is a combination of these two. Combination of matrix-based, project-based kind of, which is called role-based access strategy. Role-based access control. How to use it? Here you should select that role-based. I'm not seeing an option. If you need any feature, anything in Jenkins, you will install the add-on, plugins. Plugins will help extend, enhance the functionality of Jenkins. So how do you get those plugins? Just go here and get to the plugins. Again, manage Jenkins. See here, you will see plugins. Add, remove, disable the plugins. So go to available plugins. Here is where you can search and install plugins. Under install means you will see all installed plugins. Available means all the hundreds of plugins available for Jenkins. Right, so here you can search as role based. You don't have to learn or by heart or remember them. You have official documentation available for each plugin. See, right? How to use the plugin, this plugin does, everything you have. That's what we are going to do here. Select it, install it, so that the plugin should be installed. See here, it's getting installed. Once it is installed, you will see that option in the drop down. So like we discussed earlier, we install some default plugins. Later on, as per your project, if you need any plugins, also you can install this way. So plugin is installed. Let's go to Manage Jenkins, Security. Here you should see an option like, see, role-based access strategy. Select it. That's all. Right? That's it you have to do here and save it. But how do we create those roles? Here what we'll do is we'll create the roles, assign users to those roles. See, once you install that, you will see something like manage and assign roles option. Manage roles. First create a role. Admin role is already there. Let me create another role. These are like global roles. I'm using employee role. Employee role should have all read. Okay. Roles to add. Let's say I want to add here. You may create some roles. Roles are like, okay, let's say I want to say build role means who can build the jobs. So here you put the pattern. Okay, let me do one thing for this. Before doing it, let me create some jobs. Let's say the jobs may start with your project name. Let's say it's FCAPS project, FCAPS dev. Okay, FCAPS or else build job. It will build the code. Okay. I'm just creating some sample things. Or FCAPS test job means it will execute the test cases. Right? Right. And now, okay, let me create few more like FCAPS dev jobs. Means it will do build kind of. I have created 3 jobs. Now go back to Manage Jenkins, assign roles. Here, let's say I want some builder role. Builder role means he can build the job. So I want him to build any job that starts with FCAPS. You can use regular expressions or wild characters like a dot, a star to match the patterns. Right? That's a pattern I want to give. Add it. So if you click the pattern, say you see everything that starts with FCAPS. Builder role means he should able to build the job. Right? Of course, read should be there. Workspace access I'm giving. Right? People who can build the job will be assigned to this role. Or else let's say tester role. Means he can run only all test jobs. So I would like to put here test anything starting with this name. Right? So let's say I want him to run all the jobs, all permissions on which are starting with test. Or else I have something called developer role. He should have all permissions starting with dev jobs. If you see here, you're saying. So he can see all permissions on this. Let's suppose builder, let me give all permission. You can subcategorize. Builder should have only this, or else read permissions. Reader should have only read permissions. You can create different roles like this. Once you create, save the roles. Till now, we just created global roles. Item roles means job roles. How do you use them? Assign roles. See here. Now assign the role. Admin. Who are all other users? Add the matrix. User 1, user 2. These are all admins. So let me give employee role. Similarly, here I would like to give jobs as roles. Sorry. First, let's add all the users. User one. Roles are already here. Do you see vertically? Builder, developer, tester. You will see all the roles there. Assign the users here. Also, I would like to put admin. Admin is a DevOps engineer. Let's say he'll have all permissions. User one is a developer. User two is a tester. Got it now? That's all. Now, because user one is a developer, he should have all permissions for jobs that starts with fcaps dev. User 2 will see only test jobs. Admin will see all the jobs. Is the matrix clear? Creating roles and assigning roles to users clear for all of you? Any questions before we test the functionality? All right, let's save this. Let's go to Jenkins. Let us log out from admin user. Anyway, admin will see all of those jobs. Go to user one. Log in as user one. See his developer role. So he was seeing only this and he has got all permissions. Okay. Let's say I'll log in as user two who is given tester role. See? Making sense? So it's like a combination of project base and matrix base. And this is the one that is used in reality. Is this much clear, everyone? So this is about the user management and different aspects of it. Any questions from anyone? And okay. So if this is clear, I'll show you triggering the jobs automatically. Let me just log out and log in as admin user. So till now, how are we executing job? By clicking build now, right? Also, if you just go and see, it will tell you started by user admin. Isn't it? It will show you started by user admin. Here also, it will show you started by user admin, right? But what if I want to trigger the jobs automatically? Yes, you can do that. Trigger the jobs automatically. Those are called build triggers. These build triggers are of different types. Like you have you can trigger them through timer type of triggers, poll SCM type of triggers. You also have something like webhooks or trigger one job by another job. These are the different types of triggers we have. Let us go through one by one. First, let's go through the timer. Timer means you set some timer and your job will execute based on it. Right? Your timer will trigger the job. That's one way to do. So yeah, let's go here for job one and set the timer. See here. See, come to trigger section. You will see different things. Build periodically. Build periodically means you set the timer. You can see this help text. It will show you build periodically use something like cron tab in Linux. Cron tab means it will have 5 tabs like minutes, hour, day, month, and week. So you can set those values. You don't have to learn this. There is like a cron tab generator, right? You can play around with different timings and set some timings here. Like you want to run every 5 minutes or you want to run yearly, you can play around with them. Like I want to run on like a date. This is the date part. Let's say I want to run every 26th of every month. Okay, or else 26th of this is month. Month will take values from 0 to 12. Let's say seventh month. See, 26th of July, and I would like to run here the weekday. Like let's say I want to run it on 6th means Saturday, right? That's how it will work. So 4, 5, or else let's say I want to run at 10, 10, 10, 10 on 26th July, Saturday it will run, right? So that is how you can play around with this timer. Cron tab generator can help you. Suppose you want to run always, right? Every minute it will run. Suppose I want to run every 5 minutes. /5 means step function. Step values are allowed. It is every fifth minute. So maybe you have some automation job, a cleanup or routine job where you have to run this every day or every week. You can use this type of timer. So let me configure it like every 2 minutes, right? So let's save this and we'll. You don't have to build it. Sorry, by mistake I did. Just wait. Every 2 minutes your job will run. Check the configurations once again. Build periodically every 2 minutes. Your job should run every 2 minutes. Unlike earlier, you don't have to do. User admin need not start. It will start every 2 minutes automatically. Let's wait. It should start. Let me check. Started by timer. Do you see that? In 2 minutes, 12, 12, sorry, 2:12, there's a job 42 seconds ago. In 2 minutes, there should be another trigger. Let's wait. See, 1 minute back, there's a trigger. In 2 minutes, there should be a trigger. Let's wait and see. Right? Do you see here 2:12, 2:14, right? 2:16. Every 2 minutes, there was a job that is getting triggered automatically. This is through timer. Irrespective of anything, you may have some routine jobs, cleanup jobs, or emails to be sent that can be using this timer type of trigger. Okay. So let us look into other type of triggers. So let me show you the other type of trigger. I'm creating a job, let's say job 3. freestyle project. And the other type of trigger is poll SCM. Poll means watching. SCM means source code management system. Like let's say whenever there is a commit on GitHub, I want it to execute a job, right? So that's where you can use it. I'm just creating some repository. Okay, copy this HTTPS link. Come here. How do you connect this? This is how you do. Huh. So choose Git under SCM. Put the repository URL. Right? You are seeing this fail to connect repository means actually when you put this, what happens? The repository will be cloned for the first time into the workspace of Jenkins. If Git is not there, it is showing it. Git should be there on the Jenkins server or wherever you are running this job. Okay, it's public repository, so no credentials, master branch, that's all. Actually, this job, if I save it, it will just clone. But it makes more sense after cloning, you should add build step to build it using Maven, C Gradle and so on. But we did not learn build to let, so I'm just placing it so it will just clone it. That's all. But when do you want it? Again, go for policy. Poll means watch this repository. See, it will run the job only when there is a commit, but it should watch every 2 minutes, right? So that's what it is. Right? Every 2 minutes, it will watch this repository. Save it. Is that making sense? Every 2 minutes, it will watch. Whenever there is a commit, it will run. Also, Git should be installed. So let's go to the Jenkins server and okay, disconnected. Let's log in. Install Git. -5 so that it will not wait for my confirmation. Git install. I'm sorry, I'm install. Git is installed. Perfect. Now you shouldn't see that error message. See that error message is gone and I have given every 2 minutes just for our testing purpose. So let's wait and watch. So it will, what it will do is, it will compare this remote with the local every 2 minutes. Local means which folder? Where lib Jenkins workspace, and whenever it executes, you should see job 3 folder. So initially job 3 will be empty. Initially this is considered as a commit. So it is having one commit, local is empty, it will run the job. Right? That's how each time it will compare, and if there are some commits on remote which are not there on local, it will trigger the job. Trigger the job means it should clone it for the first time. Second time onwards, it will pull and it should run some build commands if you configure. Because I did not configure, it will do clone for the first time and pull from the next time. See here, it just started. Okay, let's just go and see. See here. It says could not revision the build. Okay, I understood. Because the branch name is main. It could not find the revision means branch name is incorrect. So here you can see the branch name is main. Main. Now let's wait. It will execute again in another 2 minutes. Now 35 seconds. We need to wait for 1.5 second. So 1.5 minute. In one In 30 seconds, there should be another build. 30 seconds it will compare, because here is the update which is not there in the local. It should run the job. See, it is doing a clone, right? You can see here. So now it is doing a clone, right? Just if you go to this, you will see job 3. Job 3. See, readme is there. It has done git clone. You can see hidden files. .git will be there. Local repository. Now this job 3 folder is a local repository created. Next time onwards, it will do a pull. But when will the next one happen? Can anyone tell me when will the next one happen? Next build of this job will be triggered at what time?
In another 2 minutes.
In another 2 minutes, will it run the job? Let's see. Meanwhile, let me also show you the timer one, job one. You can see 212, 214, 216, 218, 220, and so on every 2 minutes. And you can see here job 3. Right? Whereas timer one will execute every 2 minutes irrespective of anything. See, 2 minutes, 2 seconds. Why there is no build? You have to understand, that's what I'm telling. It will watch the repository every 2 minutes. It will not run the job every 2 minutes. That's the difference between poll SCM and timer. Every 2 minutes it's watching it, but it has the same commit which is there on local. It is comparing this with the job 3, so it will not trigger. When it will trigger, let me make some commit. Now it watches, then the job triggers. Every 2 minutes it will watch. It will watch again in another 2 minutes. Got the difference now, everyone? When you refresh it, you should see. And let's wait for it to execute. Meanwhile, any questions from anyone? Yeah, third one started. Third build started. Do you see that started by an SCM change? The commit ID also, it will show you what made this change. 08F8, 0DF8. Right here you can see 0DF8. Clear, everyone? Understood this? So that is how it works. And here also you can see the other file should be file 1. Perfect, right? You can also check the workspace here. See, get file one. You can also check the workspace from the CLI. You don't have to, on the UI itself, you don't go to into the server, right? So that's the difference between timer. Whereas timer is keep on executing every 2 minutes, irrespective of anything may happen. Poll SCM will run the job only when there's a commit. The third one is the trigger webhook. Let me also create it. Job 4 freestyle. Okay, just let me use some repository. I may use repo 1 also. Repo 1 and the repository link. Okay, and the branch name is main. Now just come here and select GitHub trigger by git SCM polling. Okay, and save it. And also one more thing here you have to do is go to settings, go to webhooks, create the webhook, add the webhook, give some password for this webhook. Right? So here you should give webhook means Jenkins, this GitHub will inform Jenkins server about the event of commits or pushes happen. Whenever any commit or this one happen, it will inform Jenkins. That's the point here. It is GitHub webhook. Right here is active. See here, last delivery was successful. Here also save this configuration, GitHub webhook. So now what happens? Everything is same. Whenever there's a commit here, it will inform the Jenkins. Only difference is, means whenever there's a commit here, the job will execute. But the difference is, GitHub will inform Jenkins. Jenkins need not poll GitHub repository. That's the difference. Also, it will not compare the local and remote. If there is any difference, it will do. No, only because I told that it's a push event. Push event means commit. Only when there is a commit, it will trigger the job. So obviously by the end, you will achieve the same functionality. So which one to be used and what is the difference? Which one should be used? Which one is better? See now if you just check here, the message tells started by GitHub push by Preethi. The GitHub push is this one, Preethi is my username here. Right, that's how it is started. And here also just come out of job 3. Go to see job 4 is automatically created. Again same, it will create a local repository ls-a.git. But whenever there's a commit, it will run. That's all. It will not compare with this workspace local repository with a remote. Whenever there is a change, it will not do. It will not poll the repository. So webhooks are always preferable because it will reduce the overhead on Jenkins server. If you use poll SCM, it has to poll the repository every 2 minutes or whatever regular intervals, right? But that's not needed here. That is the difference between webhook and poll SCM. Understood the difference, everyone? So these are the different types of triggers. Timer, poll SCM, webhooks. The other one is what trigger one job by another. This will see when we create a pipeline. So first 3 triggers are covered. Last one will be covered once we start creating pipeline. So today we have learned what is CI, continuous integration concepts, set up Jenkins, start Jenkins, create sample jobs in Jenkins. Then we have seen user management, matrix-based, project-based, role-based access control strategy. And then we have discussed about matrix, project-based, RBAC, and then we have learned about build triggers. Build triggers where we have seen timer type of trigger, poll SCM, or web. These are the things we have learned. Now that's all from my end. Let's get started with the hands-on. Open your AWS account, launch your EC2 instance and get started. And let me know once you are ready with your instance. Go get started with installation.
Is it the same EC2 instance we launched yesterday?
Yes, you can use the same.
Okay.
And get started with the setup. Setup commands are there in the lab assignments. If you go to the lab assignment, Jenkins, these are the commands. This is the command. First command, step 2, you have to run them in a bunch. Step 3, and then install Java. Let me know once you execute these commands. Can I know how many of you are doing with the my steps, with the instructions, how many are doing now the hands-on? Raise your hands if you can't speak. I should know like who are doing, for whom I should wait.
And Preethi, I opened localhost 8080 on the URL.
Localhost will not work, right? You have to give the public IP of the instance. Select the public IP.
Okay.
I have opened the lab notes here. I'm also pinging this because those are commands, right? You need to copy them. I'm also like you, it should be there in your LMS. Also, I'm sharing it in the Zoom chat. How many of you have set up the Jenkins? Jenkins setup, how many of you have completed? Okay, set up your Jenkins then.
Ma'am, I did up to install Java.
So once Java is installed, run these commands here. These steps are, copy this and
Okay.
run this. Or else 1 minute. Let me show you in the lab notes. They should be much more clearly available. Lab notes. Go to Jenkins first document. Here are the red commands. Run this, copy this and execute it. Once Java is installed, run this.
Okay.
I'm giving this lab notes URL also, which is there in your LMS. In the Zoom chat, I'm giving the link.
Ma'am, it keeps saying scheme is missing.
What is that?
It keeps saying scheme is missing whenever I'm copy pasting this Jenkins repository link.
What is missing? I did not get that.
Scheme.
Teams. At what step you are getting that?
After pasting this Jenkins repository link. Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
What is that command?
It says a scheme is missing.
Team is missing.
Yeah.
Which machine are you using? Which EC2 instance is yours?
It's on the AWS itself.
AWS, which type you have chosen here, AMI? It should be Amazon Linux 2023. Make sure you're using the right AMI so that those same commands will work.
Yeah, it's a 2023.
Copy the command and run it correctly. Otherwise, share the screenshot in the WhatsApp group. We'll check and we'll let you know. Share the screenshot in the WhatsApp. Copy this correctly and run the command. If still you are getting error, please share that in the WhatsApp group. We'll check and we'll bring you.
Okay.
Tomorrow we have the class, ma'am.
No, tomorrow we'll not have any class. Next class will be on Monday. So you'll get 2 days so that you can complete all your hands-on, revise the things whichever covered till now.
Hello, ma'am. Where is the recording available, ma'am? In website?
In your LMS, go to your LMS.
Okay.
There you will see the recordings.
Ma'am, it's okay to practice Linux on the Amazon AWS itself, right?
Amazon Linux 2023.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, whatever comes when we do the connect on the website.
Yeah.
It feels easier from there instead of connecting something else.
Yeah. So please go through those steps and set up your Jenkins and do the hands-on. It will take time. So if you still have any questions, post it in the WhatsApp group. Do the complete hands-on, complete lab over the weekend and get back to us on Monday. We'll connect back on Monday. Happy Friday and happy weekend. See you all on Monday morning. Thank you all. Bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye bye.